go. Very short notice, y'all. We have had a busy day today, but guys, I'm feeling better. And it's so nice to feel better. I'm sure part of it is like the humongous dose of steroids I might be on. So it's a little falsely induced, but that is the treatment when you have pneumonitis and mine is from radiation, from 35 radiation treatments. And it's an inflammation of your lung that makes it difficult to breathe. You get really short of breath. You have this very annoying, dry, hacking cough. So nobody's on yet. And like I said, this was like last minute notice. It's Saturday here. So, and it's about 10:15 Eastern, a little past. So hopefully somebody will jump on here. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys what I've been busy doing. I finally have the hang of the tumblers. So for those of you who said it was fiddly, I finally unpacked some items, like a little kit that I got, and it has some really useful things. One is this bent needle syringe, which I've been using and has glitter on it. What doesn't in this house have glitter on it right now? And it has a little bigger funnel and another little measure cup, like to make your glitter and such in. But I've been able to put, oh, and it has this, it's like an awl, AWL. And so you put even though the funnel won't fit down in the hole, you can put it over the hole and just poke, 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 poke. Glitter goes in like that. Now as you know, I have now a PhD in tumbler making from YouTube University. So, one thing to note is I'm learning as I go. And so my videos are more, let's chat, let's get to know each other. Let me show you how I experiment. Hello, whoever just jumped on. And, maybe we can teach each other a few things. So one of you had mentioned the funnel thing. And one of the, oh, don't put your foot in the box. One of the kits I got had real funky little funnels. I cleaned. Can you believe it? And it doesn't even look like it. Well, anyway, they were less useful. I think I threw them in the bucket. I need to get organized better. Hey, who's on? If you want to, say hello, say good morning. It's no makeup Saturday. Actually, I do have a little bit of facial makeup on. Having some. Hi, Cam. Hi, Royal Knight. Hi, Emily's Emily. Oh, Bean Jello Pro Player. Hello. Royal Knight. Wow. Lots of. I have a football game. Great. All right. Well, I'm seeing a lot of people that I don't know. So welcome, welcome. My name is Kim. I am the Wellness Homesteader. And since I don't recognize any of your names, I will let you know that I've had a health crisis. Yeah, the Wellness Homesteader. So in March, I was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer, but I've been through chemo and radiation, and that's why my hair kind of looks like it does, and I don't have very much anymore, but that's okay. It's growing back. Okay. You are... Let me get rid of you. Okay. Getting a lot of held for reviews, guys. So this channel is a clean channel. We don't curse. We don't have sex talk. We don't talk politics. So if that's your, your game or whatever, bye. And I don't mean to be rude, but you won't be happy here because you just keep getting muted. So, oh my Lord. Oh dear. Let's see. I can put y'all in timeout too. I feel like really a big mother here. So, I am finding a little bit of a challenge. I can't do as a homesteader the same gardening and canning and preserving and animal care and things on my channel that I was doing. So I've been doing a lot of cooking and crafts and things like that. Well, y'all don't come on here. It really, really, oh man. Does it make you feel important when you say I'm stupid? Because I guarantee you at 64 years old, I'm smarter than you are. You talk with your mother with that mouth. Do you kiss her with that mouth? Shame on you. All right. Um, well, thank you, Belkis. That's very nice. And thank you for saying I'm beautiful. It's kind of like, anything goes Saturday, so I'm not like super fixed up. And sometimes when you have chemotherapy and half your hair falls out, when it starts coming back in, it comes back in silver. Now, I am granted old enough for it to be silver, so I am from Ohio in the U.S., so kind of up by Lake Erie. If you look at the United States, up closer to Canada than it would be to the southern border. Let's go, Homesteader. Well, thank you. Yes, I see those ears of, wait, are those Ohio? I can't tell. I subbed. Well, thank you. Hello, can you say hi? Dakota is my baby. Hi, Dakota. You're a hottie, my dear friend. Hello, Granny. Don't tell your personal information. Yeah, I ain't worried about it. I have a pew-pew. Many cameras. Like I'm totally fine. And I don't share a whole bunch of personal information. Ohio's a big state. Don't tell your personal information, Granny. So, y'all, have you seen, okay, I'm usually late to the party. Have y'all seen these things called glitter tumblers? Or snow globe tumblers? Come on, Granny, get it right. You're from Pakistan. Okay. MTO? I'm not sure how you say it. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. It shakes up just like a snow globe. And then you put it's called a UV DTF. And DTF doesn't mean what you think. It means a digital transfer file. So it's a special kind of vinyl that's very thin so that you can decorate it. So it says, "'Tis the season." I was feeling festive. And then for the lid, and it has a straw too, I glittered it the same. So you can put all kinds of things on here. You can put the fake ice. I've done a variety of things, but it's beautiful like your eyes. Thank you. I want to tell you about my part of the reason, my eyes are extraordinarily blue, and people tell me that all the time, and I know that. I drug my ring light up the stairs to my craft room, and there's adjustments on the back that alter the color. So it makes my eyes look freakishly blue. Like even more blue than what they are. So that's part of it. I like custom glitterious DTFs. Yes. Can you make a love potion now? I can't. So my son, I have a 40-year-old son. I'm 64 years old. I only have one child. And so I was showing him what I was making, and he was like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm all set with the glittery mug." And I'm like, "You shall have a mug. You shall display it at work on your desk and tell everybody your mommy made it for you." So I'm really proud of how this one turned out. Since we have a lot of new, there's a gamer mug. That's crazy. Y'all look at this. And it's got the ice on the top with the matching glitter. And this is called a glitter butt, so you finish off the bottom because it's a double-walled tumbler. And so, yeah, his turned out what's been sitting in the box. There we go. His turned out really, really pretty. And my son works for a coral propagation company. And so he's into sea life, shall we say. So I think, good morning, Owen. Owen, we've got a lot of visitors in today, so you show them how it's done. Owen is one of my longest, if not the longest, subscribers that we kind of connected through a different channel that we both watch. So glad you're here, Owen. I'm showing off my wares here. All right. So 4 down, and I decided I wanted to change. watching from South Africa. Okay, let me tell you something. Isweli Ipsa. I probably am killing your name. I had my genetic studies done because my mother was biracial, and I have a lot, not a lot. I have some South African in my blood or in my genes. So I know that I might be blonde-haired and blue-eyed and fair-skinned, but it's in there. It's in there. And my mother was a beautiful mixed race woman. Beautiful, beautiful. So, okay. So I decided, oh, y'all, you'll get to know me if you stick around. So these are acrylic tumblers. The ones I'm showing you here, I didn't mention that. These are glass. They're heavy. These are 16 ounce. These are 24. And you'll notice there's oily fingerprints on things. It's from using the glycerin I've been crafting all morning. Oh, well, yes. Thank you, Yasmin. I am doing better, guys. You may notice I get a little bit short of breath. I've had a reaction to 35 radiation treatments. So I have an inflammation in my lungs. I'm taking some heavy dose steroids. You know, maybe I'll get some muscles for anyway. So I am a little bit short of breath, but I'm feeling 100% better than I did a week ago. So these are a little bit different mug. I like having the choices because let's face it, guys, not everybody wants a glass mug. I kind of have a thing. I don't like plastic. I'm like a diehard Stanley Cup girl. I decorate my cups, you know, kind of a thing. But when I saw these, I'm like, these are so fascinating. And there's so many genres of the UV DTFs. Blue like the ocean, yeah. And where am I from? I'm from Ohio in the US. So anyway, you can still decorate the lid. It still has the straw. And these have a hole in the bottom. So it's a double-walled tumbler, similar to like a Starbucks tumbler. And they're double-walled, but they don't come with the hole pre-drilled. So you have to either drill the hole or you can use like a hot knife, which is better for shelf display. I always think glass because it's always going to be, you know, like clearer and sparklier. Now, this one I just made this morning, so it takes about 48 hours for it to, what they call degas, the air to get off the glitter. So can you see the little plug here? I haven't UV resined it in, nor will I. Yeah, it's a little greasy because I'm waiting for the air to come to the top so I can suck it out. Won't have big air bubbles. But I think you're always going to have a better clarity if you just want it for shelf display. The other option is you can use different fluids in here. Don't want to get too technical, but you can slow down the movement. You can make it totally still by using things like Elmer's Magical Liquid. Some people have even used a glue. I'm not that far advanced yet. How about for a keychain? Plastic, right, is more durable. Oh yeah, like the acrylic. So I have the, there's resin and acrylic resin. So I have the UV resin that I use with a UV light to just seal things. And then I might have purchased the epoxy and the cup turners, but I'm not into that yet. And yes, I do everything by myself. I'm retired. I've been retired for 6 years, so that's kind of nice. And I can just do what I want to do. But let's get into making something. So instead of this glittery thing, because there's glitter everywhere, even my cat is glittery, guys. Instead of glitter, you can make things look like a lava lamp. Now for today, we're going to be doing honey. But the lava lamp is so cool, and it's made with baby oil or mineral oil and glycerin. But the honey drip, what it's supposed to look like, we're going to color it up, and it's supposed to look like honey in the cup. And then we're going to take, I chose this one, this cup wrap, but because this is a graduated tumbler, we're going to have to cut it apart or else it'll go on like this. Okay. Yeah, so now you know a little of me. And some people do put glitter in their Glycerin, I'll get it out. Are you making these things for sailing or just to decorate your home? And then I see another question. I'm going to be selling them. And here's why, guys. And please don't take this as poor me, because it's going to sound a little bit like that. Y'all just have no idea how high medical bills are. I have insurance. I'm on Medicare, you know, but deductibles are huge. The deductible is $7,500, and then there's things they don't cover. So rather than to do like a GoFundMe, as long as I am able, I am going to make things and sell them. I have a little business called Sweet Honey Bath and Body and Home. I do a lot of custom sewing. So if you look back in some of my videos, it'll say ready, set, order. You can order custom things for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween. Yeah, so it's really humbling to have to say I'm 64 and I can't work, but guys, I can't work. And there's a long story to that has nothing to do with the cancer. The cancer was the bonus. So am I into clay? I wish I was. I tried one project and I threw it away because it came out so bad. So there's almost nothing that I can't make. I just did not enjoy that. I do crocheting, but I love to do really, really elaborate custom table runners and things like that. Okay. All right. Let me show you. There's a couple ways you can do glycerin. I've had this for my bath and body business. I use the food grade vegetable glycerin. Why do I? If it's sealed up, in case it leaks. It's not going to kill you guys. Look at some of the chemicals that are in our food, right? So this is non-GMO for soaps, cosmetics, lotions, lubricants, and humectant. So it's super greasy, and I love to say that it has the consistency of snot, because it does. And then you can buy just the Walmart brand Equate. And I think you can get the gallon jugs even on Amazon. This is Essential Depot. It's sold in Ohio through Wholesale Supplies Plus. Might be a little cheaper, but the shipping always gets me. When are you going to sell these things, online or locally? I am going to do some local sales. You're asking really good questions, Emma2. Am I saying that right, Emma2? Oh no, I'm adding an I in there. I'm Tio. You gotta help me. I'm really bad at pronunciation, I guess. I will be doing online sales. So what I will do is I'll have a video up that says ready, set, order. And then I'll just do like a live sale. And the one unknown for me at this point, I'll have to make a little visit to the post office, is how much it's going to cost to ship. And if I can get like a US-wide flat rate or a global flat rate, you know, or whatsoever. And that's always a challenge with everything I make. And I'm very accustomed to doing it. Okay. I'm Tia's. Okay. Okay. I was a little off. So what I don't know, and I didn't want to just fill this with water and then dump it, because I was afraid it would affect the honey flow, because you don't want water in this one. We're just going to put the glycerin in here, the vegetable glycerin. So the reason I hadn't made these, oh, and you'll get a laugh about this, they have plugs in the bottom. I tore the box apart. I tore the craft room apart. I actually vacuumed and straightened it a little bit. Could not find the plugs. And I'm like, well, I'm going to email them. Well, that was like a whole hoo-ha Amazon thing. And something just told me, maybe you should look in the trash. They were in the trash. I pronounced good. Okay, good. So I don't know how much of this to make. So what I do know is the little squeezy bottle is about 5 ounces. So we're going to start with 5 ounces because I have no idea, but I can guarantee it's going to need more than that. We're not going to fill this all the way up because you want space for it to go up and down. So let me quit talking so we can actually get going here. And I am just using a regular kitchen Pyrex cup. And the reason for that, I'm almost out of this, is because it's totally food safe. It's not going to ruin your cup like you use it for that one time and then you're screwed. If you see me spraying, I am using 91% rubbing alcohol to get the snotty glycerin off my hands. All right. So now we want to color this up. So let me get you tilted down. And y'all just excuse this. This is my well-loved craft mat. I figure if I use it long enough and with all the glitter and stuff on it, it might look like abstract art and hanging on the wall. So I'm going to be using alcohol inks. You can create some really beautiful effects with acrylic, like a marbledy effect. I'm hoping to take this hobby into cutting boards that are partially enameled and rolling pins, because I do a lot of cooking. So this alcohol ink color is called Lemon. And let me get a stir stick. And I'm going to do, oh dear. Do you got to cut that? Oh dear. Something you all don't know about me, I don't see real well up close. And I have glasses and I don't wear them very often, so. Okay, yeah, it was just, had a little plug in it. Okay, I'm going to do 6 drops to start. And one thing I can tell you is, don't sell it on Etsy. It's popular for home. Don't sell it on it. Oh, Etsy. I know what you mean. My son has been trying to get me to start an Etsy store for like 5 years. I do way better with live sales or direct sales. I had Etsy at once upon a time. I sold not one thing, but I was doing a lot of soap products and the market was so saturated. What Etsy is good for is ordering glitter, ordering some supplies, looking at other people's beautiful work if you want to mimic it. I'm not going to say copy it, and getting a pricing idea. Like certain things I won't make because my market won't bear a $100 mug, right? So let's see. Let me finish this here. So I think this is just an eyeball it, but you do want to stir and stir and stir and stir and stir, because I don't know if you all can see this line. It's the consistency of honey. And then I'm going to use tangerine. And y'all just laugh at me with all the glitter all over everything. I know it. Ooh. Okay, that is not good. I try to keep like baby wipes because, yeah, I'm probably going to be orange. Oh my word. Yeah. So this is a little bit on the permanent side. Do you have a Labubu? No, I don't have a Labubu. A little too old for that. But I know what they are. How about me? Oh, Lordy. Y'all. Well, shucks. I guess I'll just be painted orange. I look like a 14-pack-a-day cigarette smoker. Okay. I'm going to just put about 3 drops of this tangerine in at a time. Here's the thing. You get it too orange, you'll never lighten it up without adding more glycerin. Okay. Can y'all see that that's starting to turn the color of honey? I wanted a little more orange. And I have used alcohol inks for mixed media projects. One of the things that I had been really into is making the junk journals. Sold a ton of those as well. I just like to keep myself busy, and I'm not ready to lay down and die from cancer. So, hi, Brenda. Oh, what am I making? Well, I've been sharing that I make these snow globe tumblers. This is a glass one. And now we're going to be working on an acrylic one for the first time. And we're going to be decorating it in a bee theme up to and including decorating the lid. So what I've done here is I've mixed 100% vegetable glycerin and the alcohol inks of, this one's lemon. If I hold it out far enough, I can read it. And this one's tangerine. Now, I bought this set because my ones that I had were pretty old and maybe not so true to color anymore, and they'd been used for, like I said, paper and mixed media projects. So, but it's for epoxy resin, so you can color your resin if you're twirling your tumblers and epoxying them. Oh, it is. Thank you, Brenda. Okay, now here comes the thing I don't know about. I can't remember where I put the other funnels. They're smaller. Oh, y'all. Never met a craft I didn't like, and that's why my room looks this way. Well, crud. Oh, here it is. Ah, that one's gonna work better. How about that? Am I in picture? Yeah, there's so much distraction with this glittery mat, it's hard to tell. All right. Well, let's just drum roll it. Here we go. I'm gonna go real slow. One thing that I have read and heard, ooh, you don't want to run it over like I just did, is that it's really slow unless you drill the second hole. But I don't want to if I can help it. And let me show you guys what a hot tool is in case you don't know. But can you see it running down? Now is a good time to judge once we get this little bit in. Okay, well, that didn't make too big of a mess. See how much paler it is? I don't know if you can even, you can't really even see it. So let me put a little more in because that's not very much, and just make sure that I'm happy with the color. And while this is running in, let me just roll back and grab the hot tool. Or the hot knife. So this is what it looks like. And you can use it like to cut through styrofoam. It gets hot. That's why they call it a hot knife. I know. I'm here all week. And then it has just the little hole, like the little flat thing, so you can actually burn like a hole in it. And then, or melt, and then pick it out. But the problem is you don't want to go through more than one layer, or you're going to get into your double wall and you'll ruin your cup. And frankly, you ruin your cup, you just blew all chances at any profit. So people have asked, like, how much do you think they're going to be? And I don't want to hold myself to it. Okay, can y'all see that? It's hard to see, isn't it? But I really not ready to add more color. I think in the 20 something range is probably a pretty fair guesstimate. Wow, this is slow. I've seen people come on with these really cool metal funnels, little tiny metal funnels, but I don't have any of those. I have everything else but that. She deserves a like. Thank you. Hi, Jane. You're getting good at you are getting good at catching me because it's like late afternoon there, right? I'm trying to make a honey drip tumbler, Jane. And we have a lot of visitors today that are being very polite and kind. And for the visitors, we had kind of a dynamic start to this one. And the last one I did, Got pretty ridiculous, didn't it, Miss Jane? And Mr. Owen. I don't, Owen, I can't remember if you were on or not. Okay, it's starting to flow faster. I really love the funnel. Am I not more efficient, Jane? And Jane, I don't know if you got to see this, but let me show you the one I made this, one of the ones I made this morning. Look at this. It says 'tis the season. The glitter is pink, gold, and that like almost magenta, burgundy-ish red. And then I pre-mixed the glitter. I have glitter for the bottom. You didn't get on that last one? Well, you were... Oh, and your ears probably would have been bleeding because it got really bad. Okay. I can't wait to like see what it's going to look like here. In the other plan that I have, I don't know. Oh, Lord, you don't want to do that. You don't want to talk and then just run it over everywhere because it's such a mess to clean up. But that's okay. I already messed it up. And some of my best advice, get a good quality. I use Bounty Selecticize. And you can even, like for these spills where you know you're going to have like pure glycerin, I try to get it up because otherwise it's everywhere. You can just tear the Selecticize like in a third because you go through like an unbelievable amount of paper towels, or I have. And about the only thing that will kill the sticky that I've found is the alcohol. I'm using 91%. I've seen a lot of crafters that just use the regular, which is like 70-something%. They're all really pretty. Yeah, I have to ignore the weirdos. Well, we don't have weirdos now. And insert Toyota, I'm glad you find it satisfying. I do too. But it doesn't take much to amuse me. Okay, can you all start to see the color? I feel like my ring light is washing it out. But I also feel like maybe, just maybe, a little tiny bit more orange. So I'm going to put 2 more drops in. Or tangerine. And we'll agitate this. I watched a lady this morning, you know, while I was working on my PhD from YouTube University, laughing. And she put glitter in hers. And I'm like, I don't know if I'd want glitter in my honey. But I have some of the UV DTFs that are queen bee and quite fancy. And I think, well, if somebody's really into the bee theme, and we have, you know, where I live, tons of beekeepers, and I was a beekeeper for a few years. Expensive hobby. And I had gotten some Georgian bees that were meaner than my mother on a bad day. God rest her soul. Whew. And I got stung, although I was fully suited up, hood and all, gloves, boots, everything. They got into, the zipper wasn't done on my bee suit. They found that hole. They got stuck. Well, until I had chemo, I had really long hair. They got stuck in my ponytail, my curly ponytail. And I got all stung in one spot, 13 stings, lucky 13 stings, and ended up getting cellulitis and just really sick from it. And I have lupus, so I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to let somebody else raise the bees. So Uncle Steve has bees. Not my bees, his own bees, but that's probably who will get this cup. Oh, your father's also beekeeping? You're doing it for 20 plus years. There's nothing like it. And local honey, y'all, I am the Wellness Homesteader, has made the biggest difference in my allergy life of any one thing that I've done. And I'm diabetic, and I find I can eat honey in moderation without it affecting my blood sugar way better than eating a concentrated sweet like table sugar cake with frosting and icing roses. You have to leave the chat, but you love your videos and hope you can see it too. Well, you can catch it on the replay. It'll upload. It takes it a while, but I'll be there. So if you want to hop back on and watch the end of it. But Brenda, I'm glad you're here. And oh, I bet it is fun. I love my bees, but I love my chickens too. So I decided I had always wanted chickens, but where I lived, they had an ordinance for a while that you could not have backyard chickens, and then they changed it to you can have chickens but no roosters. All right, because they make a lot of noise. Well, I'll tell you one thing, the traffic makes a lot of noise, so I really think it's kind of unfair to penalize people that are trying to do things to help support a healthy diet. I don't really eat much meat, so eggs are very important to me. And so once they changed that, I got my chickens. I have 4. I have 2 Barred Rock, black and white striped ones, 1 black Australo, big black hen. And then I call her the baby. She's not a baby. I have Winona, and she is a gray silky. So the silkies are the little chickens that lay the little eggs that have the big afros and the crazy hairdos. And almost like fur instead of feathers. It is feathers, but it looks like fur. And she is an absolute spoiled baby, and I love her to death. They have blue ears too, or she has blue ears. Not all of them do. Okay, I am going to try to give you a look here at what we've got so far. I'm maybe, ugh, that is so greasy. Let's let it, can you all see it's starting to drip? Is that not so uber cool? I know the cup is dirty. It's my greasy hands. Hey guys, like the stream, help her reach. Thank you. You know what? I've been on YouTube for 5 years. 5. And I've been down some roads. My mother passed away 2 years ago, June, and she had dementia. So there was a lot of, caring for an older parent. I'm a retired registered nurse. I still have an active nursing license. We did a ton of canning, gardening, and animal care, and building my own coop. And that was before I got sick, so many different things that are on my channel. And it kind of is a bummer that I can't be as active as I'd like to be. But I'm doing really well. My tumor, I have one very large tumor in my left lung and a small one in my right. The one in the right's considered dead. It's just in the process of being reabsorbed. It's about the size of a dime. The one on the left was 6 point something centimeters by 7 point something centimeters. Big. It's down to 2 by 3. So even though the tumor's still present, or still shows, I should say, on CT, doesn't mean that it isn't dead. Your body's just working on clearing it up and not allowing those cells to proliferate and you to go back to a cancerous state. So yeah, I've been down a few roads in 5 years. Oh, thank you, Brenda. Oh, good. I'm glad you got to come back. Okay. It is very, very hard to stay consistent on YouTube. And I can tell you through this, it's probably been the hardest thing. It's a lot. And I love to do lives because they're actually easier for me. And as far as, I don't have to do a ton of editing and uploading and waiting on the internet. Because, whew, okay, I'm breathing in that alcohol. Woo-wee, sorry. Anyway, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. And you know what? It keeps my brain going because I see people that I graduated high school with, because I went to a very small school, and they look and act like they're 95 years old. And I'm thinking, I've had 4 major back surgeries. I have systemic lupus and lung cancer, and I'm doing better than you. And I don't mean that in a bragging way, but I mean, I got to push myself. And I don't want to lay down on the couch and be an old retired person. I watched my mom, once my daddy passed away, I watched her retreat from her social life. Now, granted, my mom was developing vascular dementia, but still, you don't use it, you lose it. And my mom's body physically was fine, but her mind was gone. My mom was a hoot, y'all. And I do have some videos of my little mama. What am I doing? Okay. Kelsey Mae Dawson. I am making, I got to take the opportunity to show you. I've been making these snow globe tumblers. I don't have the straw in this one, and I haven't permanently sealed this one yet. And now I'm working on a honey drip tumbler. So if you can see the honey color liquid here, I'm going to go up a little bit more. It's pure glycerin, and I colored it honey color with alcohol inks. And I'm sorry to repeat, but I appreciate those of you jumping on, willing to watch. So let's see, we've got live is for living, live is for living, live is for living. Yes, it is. I was gonna say, Jane, we've got some regulars on. What should I share that I haven't shared? Trying to tell a little bit about my channel and what I like to do. I'm a lover of Halloween. Yesterday I did a video. Wait, no, it's up today. There's a video up today, a pre-record, where I did a very elaborate, I'll call it a mural. Believe me, it wasn't drawn by my hand. Those like window clings, a witch scene, modified it to fit my front door. It is so cool. And I had a delivery last night, and the delivery person was like, that is amazing. I'm like, yeah, I know it's like a little bit early, but Halloween only being one day, I want to get it in there. Yeah, I can really see why people say drill the second hole, because this is frustrating, because it doesn't want to go in. Oh, okay. Maybe if you kind of do that, tip it. But let's, or maybe that didn't help at all. Let's shake it again and see what you guys think about the fullness. Now you can start to see the honey drip. I think it needs a lot more honey. Even though it's going to have a cup wrap, I'll call it that, I still think it needs more. So I have this bigger funnel, but it doesn't fit in the hole. But what's the worst that can happen? I make a huge mess. Oh, that actually works a lot better. Okay, then there's that. And one of the things, as a, okay, then there's that when it makes a big mess. As I try these different types of cups, I want to know like the capacity, like how many ounces does it take to fill this cup with honey? How many ounces does it take to fill it with just the regular glycerin and water? Oh, guys, this is so, can y'all see how greasy my hands are? You'll feel very moisturized. It's like a spa day. I was just scrolling and your stream just appeared in front of me and I started loving your content. Well, thank you. You're the home decor queen. Well, I'd like to think so. One year, and I may do it again this year, I did, it was so much fun. I did Christmas through the decades with true historical background and decor and outfits. And I did 20s, 30s and 40s I put together. 50s was the big one, and then 60s. And I had so much fun doing it. It's in my Christmas playlist. Hi, Cindy. I'm a boy. Okay, great. And I already forget how to say your name, but anyway, I know who you are now. All right. let's, oh dear, where did I put that little pluggy thing? Oh, I've never gotten one out, have I? Oh no. Y'all gotta watch me every minute, because then I'll be like, what? You have to leave now, but I love your content. I'll try to watch more of your lives. Well, great. Thank you for stopping in, Brenda. I know these get long. These are usually like an hour and a half. And hey, I found my scissors. One nice thing about this cup company, even though I threw away the little seals at first, you get two. And that's good, because I'll tell you, I've already broken off one of the little nubs, if you can see. Well, I don't, here, let me do it this way. Yeah, and so it's nice to have a spare. So let's plug this so we can actually, guys, it looks like I'm bleeding, but it's just, I could be, but I'm actually not. All right, I gotta get some of this grease off my hands. Woo! And then you start picking up glitter. Can you see the pink glitter? Yeah, it's fun. The Christmas was a great series, yeah. Jean, I just want to feel like I can do those kind of committed series again, you know. It's kind of been a rough year this year, but I'm coming out of it, and I'm going to. I'm trying not to lose faith, because it gets discouraging. Every time I wash my hair, I want to cry. So for you all that are new, my hair was not quite to my waist, real nice and thick. I lost more than half of my hair, and I've cut it to about, well, maybe about right here, because it was like so paper thin. And in the middle of all that, I decided to quit coloring it, and now it's turning silver. Okay, let's see here, guys. Is that not the coolest honey drip? Doesn't it look like honey dripping down inside of a cup? So mesmerizing. And of course, you don't want to fill it totally up, because you want those air spaces. The one time you do want the air spaces. But y'all, give me your opinion. I think I need to add more honey. What do y'all think? I've not added that much. You're doing great, Kim. I'm amazed how much you're doing. Yes, it does look, it looks nice. Well, I'm trying to do great. I'm going to tell y'all honestly and truly, I have my down days. I have my pity parties. My son fusses at me because I'm tired of being poked and probed and this surgery and that surgery, and now you need a port, and whoops, your port's plugged. So I have a chemotherapy port right here and up here, and that's what this stick out thing is. And of course, it healed funny, and I got this thing that looks like I got a worm under my neck, but I guess it's, you know, hair falling out, turning gray. Got a worm on my neck. I hope you guys are laughing with me. I just have to laugh at it, because getting old is not for sissies. That's my opinion. Maybe a little more honey. Okay, I agree, Owen. I didn't even wait to see. It's so messy. I lost the hole. That's bad. I think you just have to be a little more patient than I am. I'm going to go back to the smaller. Well, I don't know. If you just tip it, it's fine. Okay. I'm kind of learning as I'm going here. I think once we get all the greasy handprints off, it'll help. All right, let's see. Hold on, guys. Like the stream for Granny's hard work. Yes, please. Oh, y'all, I wish I was a granny. My son does not have any children and has not been married. And this went everywhere but inside. How did that happen? Okay, so I don't want to waste that much. So let's go back to the other little funnel. Ugh. Because it'll actually set in there. So I see why people say you must drill the second hole, you know, for like, so it doesn't get airlocked. But if you just tip it, can y'all see that it's running down the inside of the lid? Don't tip it too much. But it's got to have a little way somehow to get unairlocked. Am I not in the hole? I don't know. It was all fine until it wasn't. Yep, you got to just keep lifting it a little bit so it will flow. That is very strange. But if you lift it too much, it just goes all over the lid. So, another fiddle fussy thing. So hopefully the glycerin will counteract all of the alcohol I'm using on my hands. Can y'all hear my chickens? So chickens, if you're not into homesteading, they do something called singing the egg song. They literally sing a song. I mean, not like, I am a chicken. No, not like that. But I mean, it's like, bockety, 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 bock. Look what I did. I pooped an egg. Everybody look. It's really good. It came out my butt. I mean, they're hilarious about their egg laying. So that sounds like, you get to know your chicken's voices. That sounds like Winona the baby, the little one, laid an egg. Because she wants everybody to know all about it. Oh, guys, I don't know if I can get any more in there. I'll show you where I made it to. I don't know why it... Ugh. Everyone don't know why it's so greasy. Okay, Langer. Okay. Let me wipe this off. Okay. Where did I put this? Wow. Before you want to epoxy resin or resin the bottom UV resin it, you're definitely going to want to pull that plug back out and clean underneath it, because what you don't want is to get a insidious leak. Wow, my eyes. Yes, thank you, Alicia. And I always feel obligated to say this. When I turn off the ring light, they don't look so blue. So I think it's partly the, there you go. I think it's partly the ring light, but I do have very blue eyes. And it also always makes my hair look like it's black in the back. It's not. I do kind of look like an alley cat right now with gray hair, blonde hair, dishwater blonde hair, you know. You know how ladies are. But I actually have not colored my hair since March, so... No, they're amazing. Thank you. They're still blue, yeah. My grandpa, my dad's dad, had the bluest eyes. Like, stop and stare on the street blue eyes. Never saw eyes like that before. And my dad had blue eyes. My mom had a blue eye and a brown eye. Seriously. So, yeah, I'm kind of the blue-eyed kid, and I was so hoping my son would get the blue eyes. But he's got the beautiful chocolate brown eyes, so just like his dad. All right, y'all, let's see how this is so cool. What do you guys think of the effect? Would you drink out? Would you be enthused about drinking out of a tumbler that dripped honey? I think it's so cool. Now, obviously, when you drink, you're not going to drink like this. So the effect is going to go for a while, but I think it is really, really cool. The effect is great. Thank you. Not my original idea, y'all. Okay, what would I do differently? This is, a lot of times I like to make two in the same family or the same theme. So I have Christmas, I have Blue Christmas, I have Fall, I have Thanksgiving, I have farm stuff, I have chicken stuff. I've got a lot of DTFs. I looked at what it would cost to be able to print your own, like buy the, yeah, sort of like a lava lamp. Wonder what it would look like frozen. I don't know. You're not supposed to use hot things in these, or the glitter snow globe ones. It's supposed to be for cold beverages, but I don't know why you couldn't use hot. It's not like a glue where it's gonna, and you're supposed to rotate it a lot. That's why I'm doing that. I'm gonna say that's a winner. So, how much of this did I use? I started with 5 ounces, and I have, so I used about 2.5 ounces. Let me set this back, or it may go on the floor. Yeah, I think I would still like it to have more, and I'm not committed yet because we haven't sealed the bottom, and we still have some of the same color left. I think you could still stir it up even if you decided to come back to it. So let's clean this one more time. You do not want to put any type of UV DTF on it when it's greasy, because let me tell you what, it won't stick. Let me show you another one that I made. I finished this morning real quickly, since we're talking all things tumblers. I've got these labeled, so it shouldn't be hard. So this one was what I originally started making for my son, and then, whoops, I changed my mind because I didn't like the glitter. I thought it looked too much like snow. Well, that's perfect for this because, let me shake it up. Ready for the big reveal? Okay. Uh-oh. Here we go. It says, I'm snow cute. And it has like all the different blue glitters and the white snowflakes. And then on the top, the same glitter with the little snowflake. And then I sealed the bottom. And of course, it has the straw. But I thought this was super cute too. I just want to try different things. I don't have a whole lot of back off on trying new stuff. Might as well. So, yeah, and it comes with a straw. I've been pretty impressed with these glass tumblers. One of the things I really like is they come in with the wrapping and the bubble wrap. Well, I ordered a larger box, and they don't come with the boxes and the bubble wrap, but that's okay. Live and learn. All right, so I have this little thing to hold my cup, and it just makes things a lot easier. So here is the UV DTF I chose for this one. And if I'm not, didn't I decide I was going to use 2? Oh, I can't remember. Okay, so here's my thought, guys. Help me out. Lovely Snowman, thank you. I thought I might, like, cut this one so that style would be, and put it up at the top, because it's a big wrap. Or it's a big cup, excuse me. And then on the bottom, put this one, so it's the same style of B, but the yellow. Does that look good? I don't know. Like, I don't know, maybe you can tell that way. Is that too busy? Like, would that make your head hurt? It might. Wouldn't make my head hurt. Or is it going to look better just to have the one? I don't know. See, to me, that seems bare. So let's hold this up like I was going to. Hold on. Wait for it. See, I think that looks better. The honey combo on is good. Okay. Yeah. I agree, guys. And this we can line up. See how it's got the lines? We can line it up at the top. Now, one thing when you go to a graduated tumbler it's not going to lay flat. So, where is this grease coming from? I'm all shiny again. Oh my gosh. I can't stand to have sticky hands. Yes, that looks better. I think you guys. See, you're helping me. Found the scissors. Yesterday I had to use my, and it was funny too, I had to use my good sewing scissors. My son was, oh, I don't know, wasn't very old. He was 16 when I moved in this house, and we were still at the other house. Or maybe we had just moved in here. We had just moved in here. So he was about 16. And he wanted to cut something out of cardboard, like thick, like Amazon box cardboard. And he used my good sewing scissors, and I almost called the police. We still laugh about that because if you've all ever paid up for good dressmaker shears, they're extremely, extremely pricey. And if you cut paper with them, well, if you cut cardboard with them one time, you're not gonna like the outcome. Just saying. Okay. You gotta kind of be careful. I'm not sure about, let me go this way with it. I don't want to cut off his legs too much. Okay, there we go. There you go. So those are drones because they're not queens, in case you didn't know. So these are boys. All right. So we still have this, which, you know, we could do the reverse on another cup. How about that? They're not super expensive. You know, y'all, I'm going to tell prices because you can look it up on Amazon yourself. Cups a lot of times are around 6 to 8. Depends on what you're buying. The quality, the seller, it depends on a lot of things. The DTFs can range anywhere from $1 to $2 each. And then you have your incidentals, like if you're using glitter, and I'm using like 2 inches, as you see, I'm using a lot of glitter. So that's about a ½ ounce of glitter. Glitter is sold by, you know, big containers in some cases, small containers in others. I've used nail glitter. I've used a little bit of everything. And I also have some rhinestones, like, you know, diamond dot painting type rhinestones that I'd like to do some lids with too. I think would be really neat. There's glitter on that. Blue and pink. Okay. I may have to go. Y'all give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to step to the restroom and use actual soap on my hands. I can't take this grease. All right. I'm back with my glittery chair and all. Now I don't look so greasy. All right, so cup is good and clean. And when you, let's go ahead and screw the lid in just for positioning reasons. Like, yeah, I still think maybe just a scotch below the screw rings. So I'll show y'all how I get them started. I can find my tool. Here we go. So I use a Cricut weeding tool. So the actual, we'll call it a decal vinyl piece, is stuck to the top, and you want to peel off the bottom, revealing the sticky back so we can place it. So if you're good at fiddly things, you can pick it apart this way. I usually slide a weeding tool. This one happens to be from Cricut. You can buy them at Dollar Tree. You don't have to have Cricut brand. Kind of separate the 2 layers so you can get it started. Now, how I like to do it, and you know, I'm going to try to do well. so you can see me, is I've cut a piece off, and then we know we can start sticking, and let's see, you know, you can kind of guesstimate. So I'm like 2 ribs down, and then, oops, try not to pull it up a million times like I just did. Somehow I have something sticky on my hands. Then you can just, that's not good. Be careful how you pull it back up. Yeah, I maybe should have cut this one a little bit, but I didn't. So let's cut it right here so that we're not dealing with it being high-low, high-low, high-low. Yeah, I think that'll work better because it was definitely starting to go uphill, and we can just adopt it a little bit. Put it down a little lower. Yeah, there we go. Y'all, I don't know how I could possibly have sticky stuff on me, but I do. All right. So this little scraper tool, I know it's full of glitter. It has a hard side and a softer side. I'm just going to make sure that it's stuck well. Where I notice I can sometimes have trouble with my DTFs is, well, it can depend on quality, but if I don't rub it pretty significantly, legs and little letters sometimes will not want to come off. And the other thing you can do, if you do get a bubble, you can take like an X-Acto knife, make a little cut. I've had my dressmaking shears for 50 years. I had them out of a catalog and paid for them weekly. They're still good. Do I prefer glass or plastic? Personally, to drink out of, I like glass. This is the first acrylic tumbler I've done. I can see the advantages because I think, you know, like, what if you're a cup dropper? You know, you drop that, it's done instantly. You drop an acrylic tumbler, it might scratch or crack, but, you know, a little more durable and probably a little easier to ship. So here's what we're going to do, y'all. We're going to pull off the top layer. And I like to do it, can y'all see here, kind of at a 90-degree angle. And what I can tell you is if it starts to lift in the wrong spot, stop. Start pulling kind of from a different angle like this, or from the other end. And this is something I like to take my time on, because to me, it really makes the cup. And if it goes on crooked, or your spider doesn't have any legs, that could be problematic. So, or you're trying to write, you know, your name or something, you know, with small letters, and instead of KYM, you get KY, and everybody thinks it's the abbreviation for Kentucky. So, all right. Oh, y'all, this is, I'm glad we put that on there. Doesn't that look good? What do you think? Pretty straight. There's a little bit of a difference right there. That's where I cut it, you know, or noticed I needed to cut it. But I mean, who examines their cup? How much does it actually cost? Good morning, Cody. Haven't seen you for a while. And thank you for saying it looks so nice. I'm going to tell you, let's just say $7 for the cup, $1 for the DTF. So that'd be $8. And then your glycerin and colorants, you're probably using $4. I'm just guesstimating because you're using a lot of alcohol, a lot of paper towels. So that'd be $12. How much does one of these generally sell for on Etsy? 28's about the lowest I see. some people are buying in such huge quantities, they're buying wholesale. You know, you can probably do a little better on the cup cost if you buy, excuse my glitter, if you buy them in quantity. I'm not ready to do that yet. What my plan is at this point, I have a lot of local opportunities with festivals and things. I just have to be careful, guys, because I'm so immunosuppressed that if a germ goes by, I will catch it because I'm on such high dose steroids. So that means I'm probably going to have to wear a mask, which is a huge deterrent. People can't hear you. Some people do a little bit of lip reading if they're hearing impaired, you know, with a lot of background noise. So it's unfortunate. So I might just take some vitamin C and take my chances. Oh, you like it, Owen? Okay. Well, let's stop being so dramatic here, and let me about being sticky. I mean, I'll use some more paper towels. Yeah, that's a definite thing, is you use a lot of paper towels. I actually kind of got into this, or saw it the first time from a gal, which I want to give her a shout out. She's a reaction channel, okay? So, sorry, the alcohol. She reacts to different characters that are on the internet in girl world, G-O-R-L world. And it's generally a group of young to middle-aged women that are morbidly obese and battling their weight and trying to be on a health journey, but have a lot of ups and downs. I belong to her channel as a member. That's where you get her crafting. She's so creative. She's a retired hairdresser, 60 years old. The only thing I will tell you before you go over there is she uses 4-letter words. So you just have to gloss over that. If it really bothers you, don't watch her, because it's going to happen. she going to say them. My mama would have washed her mouth out with soap. Okay. Let's do one more dipsy doodle and then we'll put the bottom on. I think I'll call Uncle Steve's wife and see if she wants to give him one of these for Christmas. Guys, that is so cool. That is so cool. I love me a good sippy cup. Unfortunately, I'm cup poor. Well, let me tell you. I got into this Stanley thing. Me and my sister, which I don't fight with people. I just disconnect for a little bit. She told me these were the stupidest things, and I'm like, you have no cup charm. She did not like them at all. Well, then she calls me back and she's like, I'm sorry I said that. My sister's just gone through some major dental surgery to get her dentures, and she's not feeling well, and I think that made her a little bit fussy. But I know cups aren't like everybody's jam, but I love me a good cup. Like, I'm even picky about my coffee cups. And so I might have 6 Stanley cups. Do I need 6? No. Is it something I use every single day? Yes. I have to stay hydrated with a lot of the medication that I'm taking for my cancer. So I always have like a big water jug. I did so good. Yeah, the cups are best for decoration. Yeah. Thank you. Well, let's do the bottom. What do you think? Now, I'm probably going to have to stand up. And I feel compelled to say this. If you've all been watching me this week, you might notice that I've had on the same or similar pair of shorts. I have several of them, just so y'all know that. I don't know how I got this gooey, but I did. And all the shorts are the same. And with all of the chemo and such, I've lost about 30 pounds, so my britches were too big. So I bought several of the same color. Oh, gosh. At least I didn't buy them at the grocery store. You know you're old when you start buying your clothing where you buy your groceries. And I might do that sometimes. Okay, let's do the big queen bee. And again, I'm going to take the pick. And you can fold this and twist it. I think it's way easier. Just pick it up, do it near the corner because you want to slide between the two. Look how easy that is, except that it didn't pull up. So what do you do if it's not sticking? You want to go through and make sure that it's stuck down good. One thing I noticed, Shelly, she does this to all of hers. Sometimes, though, then I find out it won't come off of the sticky back, but that needed a little help. Okay. Somebody go get my glasses. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging because I want to line up the center. And the question I see up there is, do I sell these? Yes, and I'll tell you how. Call me geriatric. Most of my clothes are from Sam's Club. Well, I love pajamas. Guys, I probably have 50 pairs of pajamas, and I love me a good pair of new old stock vintage jammies. That's what I generally wear. You come in my house at night, it looks like it's the 1950s. I just love that look, but I can't always afford to buy those. So when I go to Walmart, they have a brand called Joy Spun. I probably have 25 pairs of Joy Spun pajamas. I love comfy clothes. And yeah, I buy them at Walmart when I'm grocery shopping. Oh, I gotta tell how. Okay. Let's see. I'll tell again. I will announce your departure. No sex talk in this chat, period. End of it. Mother has spoken. So I've got this separated. The problem is the B, I kind of want to be right here. So I'm trying to figure out what would be. Normally I don't unwrap it this far, but I guess I'm going to have to. Oh, you know what? I decided I had to cut that, didn't I? Well, poop. All right, let's go back to planning. What I'm going to do is I am going to cut out the queen bee because this cup is so graduated. So these are all the things that you got to think about. I know that the design will run up and down. So we don't really want that. And some people, like, I'll just speak about Shelly, the girl that I watched making them. She does not like, I don't know how I got glitter on that, but I did. She does not like the cup wraps. She likes to cut them apart. And on a graduated cup, I can really see why. So now we're going to have to pull the bee off. But I think this will be much better. Ha ha! Oh, Lord. Yeah, at least I'm into my fall shirts now. I have bee shirts. I have chicken shirts. All right, so this is a white-backed DTF. I started talking about the comfort over fashion, you betcha. Like if I find a pair of breeches that fit me, I might order 6 pairs of them because I lost so much weight that my jeans, like I was afraid they were going to fall off like a Funniest Home Video. But it's coming back, just saying. All right. I am going to eyeball this. Eyeball, eyeball, eyeball. All right. You can take a Sharpie, dude, and mark on it and do all of that. I'm not doing that. All right, so, whoopsie. Let's, I think this is going to be really, really pretty. So I actually used 2 DTFs for this, or 1.5. So, you know, it probably cost $1.50. Good decision to cut it, yep. Riley Summerhill. What a pretty name. Y'all have such pretty names. I guess I should share with you all my family, if you haven't figured it out yet. Oh, born and raised in Kentucky, but I was not. I came along after my dad was transferred here through General Motors. It was a big tradition that everybody went by their middle name. Now, it wouldn't be your real name, your legal name. It'd just be your middle name. So my dad was one of 10, and I think Grandma got bored because the last kids, my dad was one before the last, but was Merle, Earl, Verl, and Pearl, and my dad was William Verl. So needless to say, I got called by my middle name, which is actually Beth. So then my sister comes along. Well, my sister's older, but she names her daughter Beth. You know, it's talk about confusion. Can we all just agree on who's going to be called what name? So I answer to both. Oh, guys, that's so pretty. It is so pretty. Isn't that lovely? It's lovely. I can see where this one went up just a little bit, but you know what, guys? I'm not going to hate on myself. I can always, you can remove these with, if you do it pretty quickly with acetone. I think this is going to look better just to pick this off. Watch me. I'm just going to pick it off because I don't like the way it looks. It's crookedy, and it makes the whole thing look crooked. Now, once it sets on there a while, you won't get it off. I should put a Band-Aid on that finger. I got all the dye on it, and then I could get some sympathy. I recently lost weight like crazy, too, after having a baby, so I feel you there. It's wonderful in one way, and then in another way, you're like, I mean, when your underwear are too big, you've lost some weight, right? And I was overweight, and I'm still, I'm right on the ragged edge of my BMI being in the overweight range. Doesn't that look better, guys? It doesn't look so crookedy right there. Yeah. All right, let's figure this out. Wait. Was it? Okay. Yeah. This is going to be a challenge. So I'm going to, oh crap, I forgot. Oh dear. Oh no. Well, that's a problem. Okay. Don't do that. I forgot I cut the backing off. We got to get this off. Just plain and simple off. We'll cut around it. Oh, Lord. I don't want to wreck the cup. Like I said, you can use acetone like the nail polish remover. I may have to run and get it, but instead I'll just use my fingernail and then wonder why my fingernail is all ragged. Yeah, oops is right. One disadvantage of crafting live, but I want to get the decal on, and then I want to show you what I want to do with the lid, and then we'll call it a day. I know I've been on here a while. Goodness. Yeah, oops is right. But you can get it up. It's just not, it's not super easy. All right, well, let me grab some acetone. Wait for it. We got to get this fixed. All right, y'all. I'm just using professional nail polish remover. Get it from Walmart, Onyx brand. So, you know, when you start adding up all the little things like the paper towels, like the rubbing on call, not great expenses, but certainly add to your overall cost. And, ooh, okay, that is a total no. You see what I just did? I just frosted my mug. All right, so how are we going to fix that? I have an idea. we're going to put the decal over it. So do not use acetone on the acrylic mugs. So let's see. We're going to have to just kind of make that happen. Well, nothing like screwing up. That's all right. These are lessons you won't forget. You've seen it. Yeah. Would it be better to put the sunflowers on individually? Probably so. But now that I've made this humongous mess, I'm not even sure what to do. So I've got to cover up this whole fuzzy area that I just screwed up. Yeah. So be very, very careful. Don't set it down when you have the sticky exposed until you're ready to set it down. All right. So you see the big hazy mark. I think it needs to go more like that. So I'm not sure how this is going to come out. I think it'll be just fine. We had to cover that up for sure. You're still going to be able to see it kind of at the bottom. So, okay. I saved a little one here. I still can't figure out where all this greasiness is coming from, but it must be something I can't see very well. Let's go this way with it. That'll cover it up and not look too planned. I walk away and come back to bad things happening. I know, right? Oh, goodness. Well, you know what? Life isn't always perfect, but I think this is going to look just fine when we get finished. Either that or I'll hate it, and it'll be mine. It's very pretty in the front. Not bad on the sides. I don't like how definitive that is, but that's how a cup wrap is. So maybe it will look better when I, yeah, I just cut this one off too. When I get a little further along. I think it'll be fine. I keep saying that. It's slowly becoming beautiful, yeah. You know, there's things you could do too to take away from the fact that it's a little weird over here. One of the things you could do is go ahead and put some glitter in your honey. I think that would take the focus off of the DTF, but what do I know? Oh, what is that? Oh, okay. I see. Okay. So there are variations in quality of DTFs. These are not the highest quality. And one weird thing, which I totally forgot about this, they sent me two. I didn't order two. Why is this stuck like that? Well, that ain't right. Oh, guys, I'm confused. So I just wonder if they're trying to get rid of them. Because, you know, then Amazon's like, oh, we don't want it back. Sounds like a personal problem. I don't understand this. It's not coming off. You know what we could do? Nope, we can't. We could cut that, though. Make it fit underneath. I'm not real crazy about the flowers, but it is what it is. So, and I can't get these apart, so I'm not sure what to do about this. I mean, it comes apart, but it comes apart wrong. Okay, no, wait a minute. All right. Okay. All right, then. We got it. Congratulations, you just hit 30 likes on your stream. Thank you. And thanks to you. Yeah. I'm going to do this one at an angle. So, my suggest to you all would be, like, when you find a DTF brand that you really like, stick with it. When you find one that gives you fits, and it could be operator area, just saying, oops, piece of somebody's leg. Yeah, I would keep track of that. Okay, let's do the big reveal. I don't like the partial sunflowers, but I do like the cup. I live by a rule of when in doubt, add more glitter. I think so. I think the glitter would be neat. But really, guys, it's not bad. I mean, it just has a lot of sunflowers on the back. It's just not the way I thought it would be, but that's okay. I still think it's pretty cool. So, what is catching here? Okay. Yeah, and I definitely made a boo-boo on, is that gonna stick? Do not use acetone. You can use it on the glass because I've done that before. I never thought about it. You know, the other thing that you could have done to this cup is acetone everything and make it cloudy. I don't like that. Could you not make your own transfers with the Cricut machine, or is that different? You can. Thank you, Owen. One thing to know about Cricut vinyl, which I have 3 Cricuts, just saying, because I have every version they've ever made. It's sitting right down here. It's thicker, so it's going to be a little bit thicker feel because we're not sealing these with epoxy resin or anything. I would think you might want to be using the epoxy method, which is something totally different, in order to use your Cricut. But I've seen people use the Cricut for these. Now, I keep trying to tell you about the DTF printers. They're between $3,000 and $7,000 depending on the one that you get. Eufy makes one. Eufy is the company I have 6 security cameras through. Plus, they make a vacuum mop thing that is thebomb.com, and I have that as well. I love Eufy, and Eufy makes a printer, a DTF printer that's $3,000. I'm not in business to that volume, but I could see if you were selling your DTFs, I could see that it could be profitable, but I don't know how expensive the ink is. Hey guys, our next milestone is 40 likes. Well, I swear, I feel like I've got a whole cheerleading team, and it makes me feel really good. So, that's not stuck. Okay. Oh my goodness. So here, guys, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I will never use this brand of DTF again. I hate it, and it doesn't stick. So I'm just putting that out there. Now, do I need to put this over that? Oh, boy. I guess I do, because this one flaked off. I feel like a flake. I'm kind of frustrated. And I really wanted to do the lid, too, but I don't know. Maybe I'm having bad craft juju. I have a Eufy vacuum, LOL, but it's a little special, probably user error. Some of them are kind of complex. Uncle Steve put up my cameras because they're everywhere, guys. And I'm not a weirdo. I'm not paranoid. I guess I could share this because it's been a long time ago. I don't know if any of you have ever been stalked. It is the most unsettling, mind-boggling, horrible, horrible experience that you can imagine. Because the place that you consider your safe haven, i.e. your home, suddenly isn't safe anymore. So I had a very scary stalker that, had it not been for the police, probably would have killed me. Obsessed with me, very much younger than me. He loved me. Happens sometimes, guys, just saying. So I got they don't even have them anymore here in the county. I got a 7-year stalking protection order because of the death threats, because of the break-ins, attempted break-ins. That's why I have a security system, and it's directly to the police. I have panic buttons. I have it all. I have pew-pews. I'm set. So he got sentenced to 6 months in jail. I was the 5th woman at that time that he had stalked and had a stalking protection order granted for. So he's sort of the obsessive, compulsive, mentally ill. I'm not going to say handicapped because he wasn't handicapped. He just had a weird way of thinking. So, yeah, he spent his little jail time, and 7 years and 1 day after I was granted the stalking protection order, he's in my front yard. So I had to go back through that all over again. I guess he was going to pay me back for sending him to jail. I didn't send him to jail. He sent himself to jail. So I got a 2-year stalking protection order and haven't been bothered since. And that's been, oh good Lord, more than 10 years ago. So I feel pretty safe. But, you know, you can't be too careful. I don't sit with an unlocked house. I'm just really careful. All right, guys. I will never use this kind of cup wrap crap again. But what do you think? Very pretty here. Not too bad here. I mean, the flowers are random. Wouldn't have been my choice for how to do it, but I think it's still okay. What do you guys think? Maybe it goes in the discount bin. Yeah, I wouldn't, probably would not sell this one just because it's not my best work, but Uncle Steve would like it. So maybe I'll just gift it to him. But I've got to get it. It's not leaking. We'll seal up the bottom, and I am going to do a glitter bottom on this. I'm not even going to try to do a decal. And then for the top, what I thought I would do is maybe do like a like ice, and then I have some cabochons, like doodads. You know, like bees and flowers and such that you can stick in the ice. So why don't we work on the lid a little bit? Because I'm pretty sure I can do the lid correctly. So let's grab a little cup. And what kind of glitter would you all use? Guys, I hate these DTFs. They're awful. I can't even gift this. This is terrible. It's not sticking at all. Oh boy. Well, I've got a new cup. Her name is B. Oh gosh. Well, still y'all get the idea. Just making sure that isn't leaking up at the top. I'm wondering where all this sticky is coming from. So I definitely like the glass tumblers better to work on too. Just saying. They're just easier all the way around, and now I've got that ugly spot on her. Well, let me stop picking at it. We'll just set her over here. And then, I don't need that. What do you think? Shall we work on the lid a little bit? Sunflowers are your favorite. You know what? I'm going to go back through this and see if I can do anything to improve it, but I just don't know that I can. I can't leave it alone either. If I could cover it up completely so it didn't look random and weird, you know, you could do something like this, but like I said, let me just set this aside and let that marinate for a minute. And let's mix some glitter. I love playing in glitter. So I think let's use some gold. What do you think? Gold is always a good choice. If I have gold. Oh my word. Okay, I've got this glitter. And that's kind of, oh, that's pretty. That's a honey color. We can at least make a pretty lid. You think it looks pretty, Jane? I know, and it's ugly right there. I'm going to figure out something, though, because since I got 2 sets of those and they're craptastic, I can probably go back and recut something out and make it fine. So, I want to use some, that's copper. Let me find my gold here. And you will get glitter obsessed. I'm glitter obsessed for sure. There's a pretty gold. I have so much. But I never seem to have just the exact color I want either, so yeah, that may be all the gold I have. So I've got some gold dots. How nice for you that you have your own work spot where you can just relax and do stuff. You know what? It really is. I can remember, y'all, when I worked, I was the director of home care services for the U.S., Canada, and Portugal. For over 800 locations in the U.S. alone. So I traveled all the time. And I can remember just thinking, I can't wait. You know, and I don't want to wish my life away, but it's going to be so nice when I'm retired and, you know, I'm not waking up in a different city or country every few days. It gets old, guys. It really does. When you wake up and you think, I don't know, not only what day or time it is, I don't know where I am for sure or what time zone I'm in. And that gets old. It really gets old. And I've always had craft room, but never to this degree. And it's pretty exploded in here, but I love it. And I have a big home, so I've got the room for it. Okay, so here's the color I came up with. What do you guys think? Our next milestone is 40 likes. Oh, thank you. I think it matches. What do you think? I'm not showing you very well. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think it's good. So I want to put UV resin on it. Glitter good. Yep. Thank you, Jane. And I'm going to use... Now, I've not glittered this particular lid. Usually it's around 5 milliliters. And if y'all aren't into the metric measurements, As a nurse, that makes sense to me. There's 30 milliliters or 30 cc's. Cc's and milliliters are the same thing, in an ounce. So, thankfully, I've ordered more of this. I go through more of this than I thought I would. And these are like, you get 2 bottles for like $10. So it's better to buy the bigger bottles. I bought the bigger bottles this time. Okay, so I don't want to get the glitter down inside there. So where's my tape? Or I should say the resin. I'm going to take a little piece of painter's tape. I'm going to roll it up like a cigar. Oops, with the sticky side out, I think. Might work better. And then I'm going to stick it in that hole. I mean, you can be careful and it's pretty thick, but I think it's nice to have a plan. So I'm just going to stick it in there like that. And here we go. So this lid is completely flat all the way across. It doesn't have a dip in it, but you can decide how far out you want to glitter. So I'm going to start with just like a half. I don't think I'm going to glitter clear to the edge, and I'll tell you why. If you start putting the little clay pieces, the cabochons, on, and they're too close to the edge, every time you try to take the lid off and on, you're going to bang into them and run the risk of knocking one off, and people are unhappy when their cabochons fall off, and I wouldn't blame them. I have seen, I mean, there's a whole world out there of epoxy resin. I've seen some really beautiful projects being made with this stuff. There's just like the possibilities are endless, and I think it's just trial and error. Like, I've never had a problem like that with my DTFs. It's the first time I've used that brand, so live and learn. And I'm gonna figure something out because I don't like the side of it at all. So I think the biggest thing when you're going around with this, and I just use these cheap craft sticks, popsicle sticks. You can buy the skinny ones at Dollar Tree. These were in my craft stash. I have no idea where they came from. Could have come from Dollar Tree. How pretty is that? Glitter good. I like that in so many ways. And you want to get it thin enough to spread, but not so thin that it runs everywhere. And it's pretty easy. I also have this little silicone little pusher thing. It's pretty easy to get it even with that as well. This is a little bit cumbersome, this bigger stick. And I should have mixed more. But let's see if we can... I don't want to skimpy on it too much, because it will look like you skimpied on it. It's one disadvantage if you're not using a custom glitter mix and you're mixing all of your own, although I think that's the funnest part of it. So what I've been doing is, when I'm making a cup up until now where there's glitter on the inside, I keep extra to glitter the bottom with so that I know that it will match. Because that's another issue that I've had, is trying to make a glitter bottom match when you're not sealing it till several days after you made the original mixture and you have no idea what you put in it. Or maybe you've made another cup and you used all of a certain color. So it's good to hold some aside. This came out good. Okay, so I'll have to like flip you guys around so you can see where I'm going. Give me a second to adjust here. All right, don't get dizzy. Oh dear. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Not trying to show you my chest. All right, here we go. So out here in the hallway, I have a little UV light, So I'm just going to slide this underneath it. Uh-oh. And I'm going to plug it back in. Good Lord, Kim. This has the shortest cord on earth, and I'm setting it for 150 seconds. And so that UV light will cure that. 39 guys are watching. Please like that button. Thank you. I'm a terrible self-promoter. And usually when I have lives, it's kind of my regular, so it's nice to have some new faces, and I'm really glad you're here. And I'm loving all the hearts. So sometimes this will take a couple times to cure. If it still feels sticky, it's not fully cured. The other thing, if you're in a nice sunny place, you can sit it outside. Sorry guys, I'm a little short of breath. What I'm hearing on sitting it outside is about 10 minutes. And then somebody today said 3 minutes, so 3 to 10 minutes. Eat a mint, maybe it'll ease my breathing. Checking out cobwebs falling out here. This is so pretty, y'all, the detail on this. Maybe nobody will look at the cup because it'll be so pretty. Oh, I'll just keep that cup. That's one, I think, of the advantages of, doing some trial ones. That's kind of what Shelly was doing as well. But I've never had bad cup wraps. But I hate those. They're almost brittle. And they're usually very flexible, very vinyl-y, Okay, we're almost done here. And it does get a little bit warm. The reason I have on the ironing board, and excuse my ironing board, it's been well loved. It's not dirty. It's adhesive that got stuck to it because I use it for everything. The cord that this comes with is like the shortest cord on the face of the planet, so kind of be forewarned. And it's a standard little cord, so and it does not come with the block. Wow. A watched UV light never finishes. So it has the option of 60, 90, 150. I'm finding most of the time I like it a little bit harder. That seems like it's good. We'll let it do its whole 150 seconds. So let me ask you guys this. I've got a lot of Halloween decorations up, and it's September 13th. How many of you have Halloween decorations up? Or maybe you don't celebrate. I know not everybody celebrates Halloween. Maybe just fall. I'm seeing a lot of fall up with the neighbors, but no, I'm full on going to be Spooky Town out front here. I just do my porch. I don't do the blow up things or anything. All right. Okay. Y'all, how beautiful is that? You can see the two colors. I think it's just perfect. So let's go. Don't get dizzy. Let's get back in here. Okay. Oh, Lord help me, Jesus. Okay. And that's never meant to be, sorry guys. It's never meant to be swearing. All right. So I'm going to leave now how did a piece of that get on? It's a piece of the wrap. Okay, there we go. That wrap is going to be my downfall. Now, the cabochons, or the little doodaddies, as I like to call them. I don't celebrate because you're Muslim. I understand. I've learned a little bit about the Muslim faith, I'll say, just from, and I'm not Muslim and I'm not prejudiced, but I've learned it from watching Girl World, actually. Foodie Beauty is a revert. So I've learned a little bit from her experiences. and she loves Halloween and says she is going to celebrate regardless. And I'm not a judger, so nope, no daisies. Look how cute these little tiny bees are. Can y'all see those? Look, those are so cute. So I think we're gonna do a couple size flowers, a couple size bees. I don't know, do we want to put, I don't want to put a ladybug, but look how cute the ladybugs are. They're adorable. What else do we want? Do we want anything else? I don't, ooh, they even have like a ginormous bee. I'll save that for when I'm better. That's okay. So I do harvest decor too. Now this year is the first year in 42 years I hadn't been able to have a garden because I was not supposed to dig in the dirt on radiation and chemo, blah, blah, blah. But normally I do harvest decor. So I grow corn, you know, I'll do my little shocks of fodder and I'll have a little scarecrow. But this year, since I didn't do the garden and I'm not doing a harvest, I have a few pot plants, that's it. I decided, well, let me just make it a little different, and I'll just go straight to Halloween. So the next thing I'm going to put on, guys, are these. It's a vase filler, but it looks like fake ice because we need something to kind of build up the top without blocking the straw. So yeah, this is where I think you can really make your cup stand out and be fancy smancy. One of the things I did learn in all the years, I've had my soap business about, oh, I don't know, 15 years, maybe, I'm guessing. Maybe not quite that long, maybe 10. And it is an LLC, so I could look it up. But having something about your product that's a little different, like I make a lot of my, I have vegan soaps, but I make a lot of my soaps from goat's milk. And I haven't been soaping for a while because I lost my mojo, guys. I'm going to get back to it. Okay. So let me show you what the ice looks like. And we're going to glue these on. Oh, and then, you know, you throw them on the floor. I should know better than to do that. My goodness, guys, I'm failing here. Okay. So when you get ready to stick these on, I'm going to leave the little cigar stuck in the middle. I'm going to do about a quarter of this at a time. I just find that works the best for me. I've mentioned on another video, but since we have a lot of new people here, some people develop an allergy or a sensitivity to resin and even acrylic. So you may want to be wearing a mask. Make sure your room is well ventilated. All the good sensible things. Always a good point. Now, the way I see people do, and I've done the ice before, is they stick it on, and then they go back, they harden it, and then they go back and drizzle over it. And you can even tint your UV resin to look like honey. I think we're going to do that because we might as well have a pretty lid, because even though the cup is a disappointment for me, I like the honey. I hate the little job that I did with the stickers. I should have, if I would have just left these side ones alone, I would have been fine with it. But I didn't do that. So sometimes you can overdo it. Sometimes simple is better. But you definitely want to get enough resin on here. So like I said, I'm going through the resin a little faster than I thought I would. But I ordered some more this morning, so I have one more bottle of it. But I know me, when I get started, I don't want to quit. Okay. So I think these are just so neat, and they come in all different sizes, guys. You don't have to get them this big if you don't want to. I have seen people take them and mound them up. As long as your straw is, you know, clear for takeoff, clear to insert and remove, you can do that. But for this, that's not what I want to do. And because these are all the same size, they're a little harder to fit in. I've not done any decor yet, but I did crochet the autumn leaves. You know what? I crocheted them too, and I'm not sure how I'm going to use them either. I may save them for Thanksgiving. Not that they're not appropriate now, just, you know, the house will look a little bare when I take down 8,000 Halloween decorations. Although my entryway is looking festive, I put Dollar Tree lighted leaf garland up the stairs, and I've got my witches' hats and my trees up. So let's see if we can get a couple more on. We need one more. And then I'll hold it up because it shouldn't, oops, it shouldn't run around with the proper amount of UV on it. There we go. Okay, guys, this is what it looks like. So it looks like ice. Sorry to be shaking like that. Yeah, I like the ice too. And there, you can make coffee ones, y'all. And it's just distilled water, acrylic paint, and Dawn dish liquid. So when you shake it, it looks like a latte. I'm going to make some of those in the bigger cup, I think. I'm wondering whether to pin the leaves around my leaf. That would be a great idea, Jane. I have these, and I think I got them at Dollar Tree, like a dollar store. They're lanterns, like tissue paper lanterns, and I'll hang them from my ceiling fan. They look so cool. That would be a good use for those leaves. Okay, let me pop this under the light. Y'all don't need to see it this time. But I do want it to get good and cured. So the light, y'all, if you're thinking about making some, the light is just like the light, I guess, when you get your fingernails done. Now, I don't get my fingernails done. I'm lucky that I can grow my own. I've always been able to color my own hair. I had the lash extensions for several years, but I couldn't get them when I was on chemo and radiation. And then I got them again, and then they didn't want to stay on very well. And I just decided I'm not wearing any eye makeup. I'm just going to let it go. For now. It was just, and it's an expensive treat. And for someone who doesn't pay for haircuts, hair colors, minis, or petties, you know, it was kind of a shock to be spending $85 every time I went every 2 weeks. So you decorated for fall. Last year you decorated for Halloween on September 1 and was sick of it by Halloween. Yeah, I don't have tons of creepy. Now, I have these ghosts that I want to put up because my cat loves them. And this may be Frankie's last Halloween. I keep trying to prepare all y'all. If you've been on my channel a while, you know Hanky Panky Frankie, my Seal Point Himalayan. He's 14. And guys, he's just, he's happy and he loves his mom, but he has a lot of accidents. And it's getting like he can't get up in the bed with me really so much anymore. He's having trouble with his jumping, that kind of thing. He's so fat, like his mother. He has a little trouble grooming. And I don't want him to suffer. I know he's very arthritic and he's a huge cat, guys. He's like huge. Trying to get pills in that cat is so traumatic to him. I'm not going to do it. You know, if he's miserable and I can't get medicine in him in any way, shape, or form, because he will tear me up. He probably weighs 20 pounds, guys. He's a big cat. He doesn't have front claws, but he bites hard when he doesn't like something. So I just don't know. Let me see if that's done. Nope, not quite. Yeah, the lady that I was watching, she took her resin and put the colorant in it and drizzled it over like honey. So I think I'll do that to finish it up. But I don't want to pour it too soon and then it harden up and waste. You'd never know I cleaned this up today. I wish I hadn't goofed up those flowers, but I did, didn't I? Yeah, they're just, I don't know if y'all can see, but when you touch them, they just want to flake off. That is not a good product at all. That's very discouraging. But you live and learn. Oh, no, not Hanky Panky Frankie. Yeah, Hanky Panky Frankie. Himalayans, I love Himalayan cats. I had a flame point Himalayan, which was white with the orange ears before Frankie, little tiny timid 7-pound cat. And it was actually my son's cat, and then he went to college and he left it behind and it became my cat. He lived to 13. They're very prone to congestive heart failure because of inbreeding. And, you know, a lot of them have the really, really flat face. Frankie doesn't. He's not that real smashy face, so he doesn't get a lot of respiratory trouble. He leaves that all to me. But I know he's not going to live forever. And I did make the decision that once Frankie goes, I'm not going to have another one. And I say that every time. But, you know, with just even with having the chickens, when I've had, like when I had my biopsy and I went into respiratory failure and then I had to stay in the hospital, you know, I don't have anybody to care for my chickens right here. I have a neighbor kid that will. But, you know, when you're in the hospital and, you know, and breathing stuff, I'm kind of goofy. It's hard to make those arrangements. Thankfully, I'd made them before just in case. So, you know, it's a little easier on me not to have an animal. Cats are good, though, about being left, but I don't know. I don't like the whole declawing process, even though I had Frankie declawed, because he absolutely would have shredded this house from top to bottom. He's got great big feet. Sending hugs to Frankie, thank you. And Jane sends Frankie hugs, yes. I've thought about going for an end-of-life consultation, and I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, probably better than just waiting till something terrible happens. Oops. All right, guys. Oh, this is so cool. All righty. What do you think? How cool is the ice? I don't, it's just glitter. All right. Now, I want to put like some flowers and some bees and just, yeah, I want to make it cutesy wootsy. Let's see. Oopsie. Well, no, that's wrong. I want the bee over here and the flower up here. But I was kind of hoping I could stick the bee up. Okay, what do you guys think about that arrangement? Super cute. You know what? We need one more, because 5 is better than 4. Odd number always better than even. Let's put one of these back here. Okay. I can do it. Okay. Yes! There you go. These things are very inexpensive, and you can get totally carried away because they make pretty much like everything you've ever thought about having. All right. First thing I'm going to do is just individually glue these down. And guys, I apologize this is so long. I didn't mean to make it this long, but it did get that long, didn't it? If I wouldn't have screwed up the cup, I would use the other word, but my mom would come back and haunt me. No, I try to keep it clean, guys. Very rarely do I say a bad word. And that was a total no-no growing up, man. You said a bad word, you were in I didn't try it. My mom slapped hard. Okay, I got those glued on. Let me stick it under the light, and then we'll make some honey drizzle, and then we'll be done. And then I'll lament how ugly the sides of this cup is. Y'all know who know me know I will fix that. I will just put, I mean, it may look a little peculiar from the inside, but I mean, I hope you're not looking inside your cup with a lid on it. So All right, I'm going to take a little bit of the UV gel for the drizzle, and I want this kind of thin, so let me show you how these, I love these little medicine cups. They're super cheap. All right. So this is 2.5 cc's, like the tiniest little bit, but there's only 100. Let's see. Oh, these are grams. It goes fast. That's what I'm trying to say. Then we'll do a couple drops of the lemon, and then the tangerine. And y'all, you really should wear gloves for this. Don't do like I do. That also can help if you're having, okay, now that might be, you think that's too dark? I do. Uh-oh. I noticed when I watched people mix, they had to put a lot more yellow in. Let's see if I can just use the back side of this. Oh, and you want to stir it really, really well. I should have done that. And somehow I have a piece of blue glitter in there. I was having my dinner. Now I'm back to chat. Oh, good. Also, sometimes you'll get bubbles in resin. And how do you pop them? Well, if you're doing like the glitter lid, you can spray isopropyl alcohol on it, or you can go over it with a butane torch. I have a torch. I don't have any butane, so I'm waiting on that to get delivered. I did order it. Okay, so here's the honey glaze that we're going to put on. It's a little darker, but I think putting it over the ice, it'll be fine. I've already screwed up the sides, so grab the lid. Oh, it's really fun and cute, guys. The lid is a winner. What do you think? How adorbs is that? I think it's really cute. It's 9:27 p.m. in Pakistan. Is it really? It's 12:30 here. My chickens will be fussing. They get a treat. Okay, I'm going to try to drizzle this from up high and make it look like honey. Please look like honey. Please look like honey. It does. Now I'm hitting on the part of the cup I didn't really want to. So I'll have to wipe that off. Might want to buy some stock and paper towels. Just saying. Oh, Lordy. I love the honey drizzle. That was a good ad. So see, guys, you can, you might mess up the part of the cup, but you can redeem yourself. Look at the honey drizzle. Oh, dear. My battery is about to die. The top is so beautiful. All right, guys. Well, since my phone is about to die and I'm recording on my phone today, thank you so much for joining. I've had such a great time with all of you. I'm so happy to meet new friends from Pakistan, from different religions and belief systems. We're just all one big happy family. We don't have drama in here. Go over to Girl World if you want the drama. But I love y'all. I appreciate your prayers, and I covet your prayers. Keep them coming. And guys, I'm going to beat this thing, I think I can say this without crying, especially for those of you who are new. When they thought it was my heart when I originally started with the symptoms, and I was only given a 40% chance. And I'm 6 months out from that, and I have met or exceeded every single goal. And I went for very aggressive treatment, and I'm glad I did. So I've asked the Lord for 10 years. That's my wish. My son will be 50. He's launched anyway, but I just want to see him enjoy his 40s before I go. And I know where I'm going, so I'm okay with it. All right, guys, I'm going to go harden this up, and then I'm going to fuss with the cup offline. But thank you all again. I'll see y'all very soon, but until then, check out some of my videos on my channel. I really appreciate new subscribers. I'm glad that you're here. Smash the like button on the way out if you haven't done that already. And be healthy, be well, be blessed, and y'all take care. See you soon.